morning. Happy Wednesday. Keith Tebow with you. I'm pleased to be joined as we are Wednesday at this time with the mayor of the city of Fall River to get an update on city happenings. Mayor Paul Coogan is with us. Mayor, how are you? Thanks for joining me.
No problem, Keith. How's it going?
It's going well. A lot of things going on with the city. A lot of it, really impacts the residents. Let's start with something that's actually happening today. We're recording this on Wednesday, April 6th. Later on this afternoon, there's going to be an event at Government Center. I believe it's in the atrium, where it's going to be a forum or a workshop or a seminar for people who are having issues paying their rent, primarily through the pandemic, but other issues as well. They can get some help down at Government Center. I know that you initiated this with, I believe, $1.5 million in COVID-related funds to go toward this effort. So again, it's another way for the city to help residents who are having a tough time rebounding from the pandemic and paying rent, right?
Right, absolutely. We'll be in the atrium from 3 to 7. We'll have a number of vendors there that work in these areas. We just want to see what this situation looks like. We know it's bad for some families, and if they come down and give us a heads up on what we can do to help them. As you said, we partnered with Catholic Social Services on an eviction moratorium. But to be honest with you, Keith, we didn't really get the response we thought we'd get. We thought we'd have a lot more people in. This is almost like a follow-up to that to see if we can get a better handle on exactly what's going on in the city of Fall River in regard to rents. So if people need support, show up today at Government Center from 3 to 7, and we'll see what we can do to help you.
And I would think that even after today's event, if people still have questions, they can call your office. They can call Catholic Social Services, right? Obviously.
Yeah, we get calls all the time. We do what we can. Again, rent increases are a nationwide problem that are happening very quickly as these property values shoot up. Rents increase when they're sold. Specifically, that seems to be one of the driving forces as the property is going up so fast that when you buy a property that's been marked up that much, you increase the rents to cover your mortgage, your insurance, your water and sewage, and that seems to be the jumping point right now. But we're looking at it today, and hopefully we'll get to talk to some people.
Yeah. Another initiative that was announced last week through the fire department in partnership with Bristol Elder Services. Bristol Elders is funding a program where the fire department through the EMT and EMS will be conducting some health checks and wellness checks of city seniors. I know that, a lot of times seniors don't have a voice of their own, and this is an opportunity for them or a loved one to contact the fire department to have them come in and check out what's happening with seniors, making sure they're okay and doing anything they can. This looks like it's definitely a win-win for our community with so many seniors we have in Fall River.
It is a win-win, and again, it's the same type of situation. If people know a senior that's at risk or they see something that's not right in the apartment, notify us. I mean, the fire department pitching in is a great assist, but our building inspectors do this all the time. I was down on North Main Street, I want to say 6 months ago, maybe a little longer, and the woman obviously it was a hoarding situation, no heat in the house, no running water, and it was a very, very sad event. But again, we found it because the yard was overgrown, and we ended up starting to do some checking. But those are the kind of things we need to know about in the city of Fall River, and partnering with the fire department and Bristol Elder Services is just another link in the chain to try to provide a safety net for people. We're really appreciative.
Yeah. Moving on now to some dollars and cents for the city. I was reading actually a social media post yesterday from Senator Michael Rodrigues, and as been the case in the past, the city is going to be receiving upwards of $1.2 million to help with its public safety staffing in the police and fire department. I know this has been something that you have appreciated as mayor over the past few years, help in funding the needed services and staffing in public safety in Fall River.
Yeah, absolutely. It helps both the fire and the police. We're one of the few communities in the state that gets it. And it has been a point that Senator Rodrigues has led on. But to that end, government is all about relationships. I say this all the time. And for example, the other night, myself, Senator Rodrigues, Carol Fiola, and Congressman Jake Auchincloss had dinner in Fall River where we talked about a number of issues that we can work together on to make the city of Fall River a better place to live. And that's what's going on in the city of Fall River right now. Concerted efforts to improve the quality of life for everybody, whether it's public safety grants or waterfront grants or CSO money, working together with our federal delegation and our local and state legislators. That's the way to do it. And again, I'm very, very appreciative of the efforts of everybody that wants to pitch in to help the city and its residents.
Is it difficult sometime as we head into city budget season? I know your administration is working on the fiscal year 23 budget. Is it sometimes difficult to have to rely on grants like this, where the state has been again very supportive of the city in terms of staffing police and fire, but can you always count on it every year? And if you don't, do you have those contingencies in terms of making sure that our police and fire department are well staffed?
Uh, well, again, you're not going to refuse a grant. You definitely want them in the fold to help supplement the city budget. Those grants that you're talking about, I believe, are almost 100% used for overtime for our police and fire. For fill-ins, for situations where we need more people in work. All the grants, we try to do our best to use them as a support to the traditional city budget. Do we offset money in the budget? Absolutely, sometimes. But at the same time, we're looking forward on long term where we may be able to pick up some savings or some reductions and help the city. It's really, really interesting because of what the country went through with ARPA. For example, when the state, take that back, when the federal government freed up the restrictions on lost revenue and gave us that additional $10 million in lost revenue, that's almost like an additional stabilization fund. We have our one that we've worked to build to $7 million. We have our free cash, whatever that is. I think it's 1.5. Now we have the lost revenue. So these things are all in place to support us and do things in the city of Fall River that are necessary to keep it running like it should.
And finally, speaking of budget season, tomorrow night, the annual, what has been an annual event based on the city charter, is a joint meeting of yourself, the school committee, and the city council to talk about the budget for the upcoming year. The school committee is moving forward on its budget. How helpful is it for you to meet with both the school committee and the city council as you prepare your budget for next year?
It's extremely helpful. Obviously, as chairman of the school committee, I'm involved with the school budget extensively. And then you come over to the city side where we're up here every day, meeting with department heads, meeting with the key players that put the city budget together and the city councilors. But what it is an overview of where we're going. And it is a unique time in the city of Fall River with all the additional funds the schools have gotten, with all the additional funds the city's gotten. It's really a different time when no one is talking about pink slips or layoffs or reductions. We're at a point where we're trying to build long term, but at the same time we do have some substantial money to invest in our schools and in the city of Fall River. So it is unique. I mean, I know I talked to former counselors or even some existing ones or committee men when they tell me, oh, we were cutting 3 teachers and we were trying to combine programs. We're not at that spot at all. We're adding substantial employees in the school department, and obviously we're doing some projects in the city that may have been kicked down the road for a little while. So financially, we're in a pretty good spot, as I've said all along, and I think we just have to capitalize on it.
Yeah. All right. We will look forward to that meeting tomorrow night, and I look forward to speaking with you again next week. Mayor Coogan, I appreciate your time as always. We'll talk soon. Thank you.
Okay, Keith, thank you.
All right. And thank you for joining us as always on FRC Media. I'm Keith Tebow. Have a great day.